Hi Stampers, it's Meg from LovenStamps for another Maker Morning with Meg video. And today we are crafting with candy because stamping is fun, but stamping with candy is better, right? Usually I say stamping with chocolate, but today I'm making an exception for these evil soft peppermint puffs. We don't need to talk about how many of these canisters I've gone through since I started doing these videos back in October, and I have been making fun things with them. Making some fun things, eating many of these. So, hey Cheryl, hey Kathy. So my goal is to use some of them in the very immediate future so that I don't have to eat the whole rest of this container and the one that's up in my cabinet. So, all right, we're gonna start off, I'm just gonna take some of these. My favorite way to package them is to drop them into a one of the clear envelopes. So these clear envelopes I use for all kinds of things. I love actually sending cards in them. Did you know that you can mail a card? Hey Sherry, you can mail a card in these packets. So basically, here I'll grab this fun cactus card we did the other day and grab an envelope and drop it in here. You basically just need a place to put your address. So I drop these in here. Good morning, Marie-France. Hey Cheryl. Oh, did I said good morning to Cheryl, right? You get an extra good morning for being so early. So anyway, I'm gonna drop this into the envelope and then you can seal it on the back. And then if you want to, you can write the address directly on the back of your card, which would get there just fine. Or you can put the address on a slip of paper and slide it into your card. So it's kind of fun. They just come in the mail just like this. So, all right, I'm not gonna swear one way or the other about whether they need extra postage. I don't think they do. While we love the Postal Service and all they do, sometimes you never know. So, all right, so we're gonna use it for our candy this morning. I'm gonna peel the backing off and pop this over. And these actually make fantastic treat packaging. So you know what I should do? I should just package up the whole rest of this canister in the containers so that I don't eat anymore. But sadly, I don't think it would stop me. All right, so what are we putting with our candy this morning? We are putting sharks. Because I just saw a post the other day, someone wanted to make a Valentine for their boy, I think it was a grandson, and she was looking for something that wasn't like girly or cutesy. And so baby shark is all the rage, and sharks are not necessarily girly. They can be very boyish. So pairing baby shark with the heartfelt stamp set, hey Tammy, because this heartfelt stamp set has Valentine greeting, happy Valentine's Day, but it also has a sentiment that says being friends is better than eating candy, but let's do that too. So have sharks, we have an eating theme, we have our candy package so that I don't eat it before we go. You guys ready to get stamping? So, morning, hey Betty, hey Sandy. All right, let's turn you guys down here. And as you can see, I have lots of fun things kind of set up for us. And we are going to start with just a piece of Whisper White cardstock. I'm using my Memento Black, which is the cleanest black I have ever stamped with. I absolutely love it. Stamp my shark and then add my shark outline. Now, if you look in the catalog at the stamp set, it's on page 46. Here you go. This card right here is a very cute example. And if you look really closely, can you see that that yellow shark has that texture to it? It has a little bit of orange in the background. That is a technique that you could certainly do. Because this is a solid stamp, you'd take this inked stamp, take another one, and either stamp onto the stamp, or you would stamp the blank stamp on here to pull ink off. But we're going to, aside from stamping in our hands, we're gonna just do it straight. But I wanted to mention that this morning in case you were curious about that catalog sample. All right, so I'm gonna kind of squish from the backside. Since it's photopolymer, it's easy to do that. Thanks for sharing, Betty. And there is our gorgeous image, because you guys know Stampin' Up! Has amazing stamps. All right, so this guy is going to get cut here with our die. And then what is next? We are going to add to this a background. And I decided to start with a circle and go with Pacific Point as our blue color. And I wanted to add some bubbles. The dies for this set have a number of fun backgroundy images. So there are these circle or double ring bubbles that cut out as bubbles. There are these bubble ring bubbles that cut out just as blank circles, these fish. You can use these as foreground things that you glue on, but you also can use them as backgrounds. So I'm going to use this bubble here, and we're going to cut some background here. Let's see. I'm gonna set up my plate and get rid of this stuff here. All right, I'm gonna set up my plate and pop on my pieces of washi tape on here so that my dies stay where I want. And then I have one more thing that I want to cut on this go through, and that is the little tiny tie for our shark. So there's this little tiny die. Some of the pieces to decorate your sharks, I know, aren't they the greatest? Some of these pieces are stamps, the little mustache, flower hat, and purse, and so forth, because every shark needs a purse, a cute handbag. And some of them are dies, like the little cane and the ties here. So I'm gonna set this all up on my plate. I'm gonna bring my Big Shot here. Let's see, or my little mini cut and emboss. There we go. All right, I told you yesterday I started an experiment to see how I like this. To keep it from sliding, I put pieces of extra cling material from my leftover stamp pieces on the bottom, and so far I'm quite pleased with the experiment. So we're still in progress though. I'm not ready to go for it all the way, but I'm gonna go ahead and slide my plate on here and slide this through. Remember, celebration is a great time to get your new little emboss machine, because for each $50 you order, you get a free celebration item. So that is, whoops, see, it really does kind of just have a little stick. It just kind of holds it in place, but it's not super sticky. I'm quite pleased with this. I have good feelings about this, this experiment. So, all right, so we have our shark pieces, and Tanya, I swear I don't keep all my ink pads open just to drive you crazy. All right, I'm gonna put my dies on my little thing here so I don't lose any. If you guys haven't seen this before when I've talked about it, hey Judy, hey Trish, hey Kathy. So what I did was just get dollar frames from the dollar store and then a sheet of magnet. The easiest place to get this is the vent cover, or the least expensive. It's vent covering, and it comes from the hardware store or Target or wherever. And you just cut a piece to fit the picture frame, but then it holds your dies in place so you don't have to worry about losing them between projects. So quick. All right, so we have our shark, we have our bubble background, we have our tie, which I have of course lost already. Oh, nope, there it is. All right, we're gonna use we'll use the tie, not the bow tie, the long tie. Let's see, what else do we need here? We need a card, right? Okay, Trish says, does the mini foldaway have storage in the flaps? No, that's kind of a cool idea though. It doesn't. That's, I don't know, like a version 2. I'll have to send that in to Stampin' Up. All right, I have a card cut, and I was thinking that this would be a cute Valentine size treat, because if you're looking for school Valentines or things like that, then we would want it to be a little card. So I cut this to, I think it's 3 and, well, I know it's 6 inches wide by 3.5 inches tall. Okay. Now, before I stick anything on here, I'm going to show you kind of how I came up with this morning. So I first stamped this on here as like do. Wait, only 2 do and do's make do. And we're not sending a Valentine that says do. So you need more information on there than just 2 of the do's. And then I was like, well, they don't all fit on there. So let's do this. Let's put the whole greeting on here, most of it anyway. Okay, do. You can sing along as needed. And then I'm gonna kind of put this on here just for eyeing it. And then I'm going to pull this away and stamp out here, and I'm gonna stamp in the middle. And then I'm gonna layer this over so that it fits on our card, okay? Doesn't really matter exactly where you put it. It can be pretty close. All right, so then I'm gonna grab a dimensional and pop a dimensional on the back here and line that up, plus or minus, do. Okay, and then our shark, and oh, I keep thinking I lose that poor shark's bow tie. He better get dressed or he's gonna lose his tie. That's kind of me in the morning sometimes and running around to set something down, then I have no idea where it is. I don't usually wear ties though. Okay, let's see, we have him kind of tucked down here, that looks good. And then for this little tiny, which you probably can't even see, oh, I bet you can, bow tie, there it is. The easiest way to attach that is to go ahead and put your green lid glue, your multi-purpose liquid adhesive on the shark, okay? Remember, if you can see it, it's enough. And then I'm gonna pick this up with my tool and pop it on there. That way I'm not trying to handle with my fingers and getting them all sticky the piece that is glued. All right, so we're off to a good start here, but I kind of feel like this needs a little bit more decoration. So I was looking at the dies, and on the die sheet are these fun pieces of seaweed, these sea plants, okay? And there's two of them. At first I thought they were exactly the same, but they're not. You can layer them together like this. One is an outline and one is a background, or you can use both, however you choose to use them, of course. And then I was thinking, well, what color? And I thought, oh my gosh, I clearly need some rainbow glimmer on this. And when I first got my glimmer paper, what I did was I cut it into strips so that I could have access to the parts that I wanted. So if I show you this, a full sheet of this has green, has a blue in the middle. And I think when I got this particular one, I was doing whale projects. And so I wanted the blue, but I couldn't really reach it very well with my punch. So basically what I did was I cut it this direction along the color line so that I would have a sheet that was easy to reach. And same if you want to use this with your dies, you're gonna need to trim it down anyway. And then these are going to fit on here to be cut out, and through the magic of television, ta-da, I have these. So you can see some of the little pieces here popped out without me doing anything extra to them, so I'm gonna leave them that way, and then I'm gonna leave the rest sort of plugged in. I'm gonna add some green or some multi-purpose liquid adhesive to the back here. Remember, if you can see it, it's enough. I do love this glue, but I think sometimes people struggle with it because they're like, it squishes out everywhere. So that's too much. You can see it, it's enough. All right, and then I'm gonna do one more on the background. This guy, I love all the pieces, and I can definitely see me using these, using some of these dies with some other stamp sets and so forth. So, all right, since this is not going in an envelope that's strictly sized, I'm gonna like use my extra space there and go over the edge. Last night I actually taught a merit badge, a Boy Scout merit badge clinic for the art merit badge, and we talked about positive space and negative space, and I showed them some good uses of negative space. So anyway, I'm thinking about art and value and form and stuff today. Okay, so we still need this to be Valentine-y, right? Because it's boy approved, but not Valentine-y yet. So what I'm gonna do is take another, I just stuck my finger in my ink pad. Let me show you what I do here. If I don't feel like getting up to wash my hands, I just take my chamois and clean it off on my chamois. And it might not be totally clean on my hand, but at least it's not coming off on my other projects anymore. So, hey Leanna, hey Sherry. Okay, so we have our extra piece of Whisper White, which is cut to fit inside. I think it is 3 1/4 inches. I love my grid paper, by 2 3/4. And all of the products that I'm using for this Valentine project are listed in the description today, with the exception of the clear envelopes. I realized I forgot to put those in. So, all right, so what to add to our inside? We know we want to add the heartfelt candy eating sentiment. I do love this heartfelt set. It is bundled with the heart punches, which I'm not using today, but are an excellent pair of punches to have on hand. There's one that cuts just the heart shape, and there's one that cuts the scalloped heart. They're kind of, this are the sizes they are. But I love this set because it has this arrow, it has this like iconic little backgroundy heart. It has roses are red kind of thing that isn't super sappy. It's just so lucky to have a friend like you. Roses are red, violets are blue, so lucky to have a friend like you. This is a really great Valentine set if you don't have one that you are already in love with. No pun intended. but I'll take a pun for what it is, right? Okay, so I'm gonna stamp this. Being friends is better than eating candy, but let's do that too. And if you needed a boy-approved Valentine, chances are you would leave it just like this. They would sign their name and be done. If you want to add more Valentine sentiment to it and you don't need to worry about elementary school boy approval, or your boy is less finicky than some that I've helped make Valentines, then you can add the extra greeting to it. So we have this Happy Valentine's Day. And I have clipped my edge. Now, I could have seen that coming. When I ink a stamp, especially with the Stampin' Up! Ink pads, the foam ones, if you have ones from recent years, if your block is too big for your stamp, it's really easy to accidentally ink an edge. There you can see all the ink on there. Now, Smart Money says that when I pick this up and I go, oh, my stamp is, or my block is inked, then what I should do is take my chamois and just wipe a little ink off the corner edge there, and then stamp. And then you won't have this offending problem. But you know what, it happens. So I think we clearly need another shark down there, right? So we're gonna take this little baby shark down here. We're going to position that so it lines up where it's gonna be hidden. And then we're going to take the blue outline or blue infill, and I just keep rotating until I get it kind of lined up. I'm sure you can, oh, you can't quite see my hair in there. There we go. All right, he reminds me of like is it like Tuna of the Sea or something? That's the logo. We talked about logos at Boy Scouts last night too. It was a fun class. All right, if you have Boy Scouts and you need an art merit badge, let me know. So I have my glue handy. I'm going to flip this over here and go ahead and add this on the inside of our card. So there we go. And then we need a way to attach our happy shark. And the clever clasps are in the catalog right now. Oh, Star Kissed. Yes, Trish, thank you. Whew. So you could pick silver if the Starkist label is like silver, right? So you could pick that if you wanted to stick with the Starkist flavor. I'm gonna go gold just to make it a little bit brighter, I guess. But there is our finished fun shark Valentine. So boy approved for certain. There's nothing girly about this. But you could have a girl make these two. I'm not saying one or the other. I'm just saying I know that it can be tricky to get a boy approved Valentine through the works. So, all right. So there, you can picture a whole bunch of these if you have a problem with a canister of candies like I do and you need to use them up. But that kind of gives you some ideas. Anyway, this shark set is really cute. He's darling. He's definitely not just Valentine related. So the samples in the catalog have some neat ideas for things like this. I love you, mommy. I love you, daddy, that kind of thing. I love you, baby, although baby can't read probably, so that's not quite the same effect. I love you, grandma. And then you can decorate all the sharks with the things that are on there. So the little purses, the little string of pearls, I think little eyelashes, little lipstick marks, all kinds of good things for this. Now, if you are thinking that you do want this for Valentine's Day, I don't know if you are aware, but Stampin' Up! Does have expedited shipping. It pops up in my online store, so when you go on there and you have the shipping selection, usually everybody, all of us do regular shipping, which is $6.95 minimum or 10% of your order total, whichever is greater. But let me explain some important things about how expedited shipping works, because there's a little hitch in it, a little hitch in this shipping that if you don't know about, it can be a little bit frustrating. So you, of course, would want to add your heart stamp set too. So if you go to the video description, look in the description for the links. The shopping list is there. You can pick which things you want to add to your cart. Then when you get to shipping, there are choices. There is regular shipping. There is 3-day expedited shipping. There's 2-day expedited shipping, and there's next day shipping. So the first thing you need to know about expedited shipping is that 11 a.m. Mountain Time is the cutoff, and that's because the Stampin' Up! Headquarters ships from Mountain Time. So if your order goes in before 11 a.m., then it'll ship, that'll count as the first day. So let's see, we'll just do an example. Today is Wednesday. So if I put my order in right now, it's before 11 a.m. Mountain Time, and I pick next day shipping, my order will be on my doorstep tomorrow morning. Well, sometime tomorrow, not tomorrow morning necessarily, but that's what next day means. It's the next business day. If I pick 2-day shipping and I put my order in now, it's before 11 a.m., so it won't arrive tomorrow, which is Thursday. It will arrive Friday. Okay, so that's 2 business days. Now, 3-day shipping is not expedited picking. It is just expedited shipping. So a next day over, or an overnight, or a next day and a 2-day, they jump right to the top of the line. Stampin' Up! Puts them through, and they go right through the pick line so that they can go out as soon as possible, okay? If you pick 3-day shipping, it's expediting the shipping, but not the picking, okay? So then the order goes in with all the other orders, and when that order comes to the top, then it gets picked, and then it gets shipped as the next, as the, what am I trying to say? Then it gets shipped as the 3-day from the day of shipping, okay? So depending on where you live in the country, if you live in California, your shipping comes really fast anyway, so you probably don't need to worry about this. If you live way on the East Coast, your shipping maybe takes a little longer, so maybe 3 days would be useful for you. But just so you know, if you need stuff for Valentine's Day, you can get it a little faster than just the regular shipping times. So that is my lesson about expedited shipping. Anyway, super cute Valentines. I hope you guys have some great projects that you're working on, and I look forward to sharing another project with you tomorrow. Let's see, Kathy says, oh, okay. Kathy, I have a minivan. If I put it in the trunk, I can still reach it. But you're right, it is too cold. Okay, so Kathy says, if you can't read her comment, she said she puts her candy in the trunk of the car, especially during the winter. It discourages snacking, because who wants to go out there and get the candy? It's actually a really good idea. So if you ever see the back of my car and it's filled with candy, you'll know that it's because of Kathy's excellent tips. So, all right, thanks guys. Have a great day. Happy stamping.